Hello me land lovers and welcome to another board games that everybody should ... In this video I'm going to be looking at this Kickstarter game called Potato Pirates, which gives me a great excuse to do my potato-y pirate-y voice. Yeah, that's the dude. Anyway, let me go on by saying that this game is a game for young families and children where you're going to be taking on the roles of potatoes who think they're pirates, and you're going to be sailing out into the high seas and battling it out once and for all together, and try and be the last man standing, or try and recruit all the pirate kings together. Now, this is a game which is educational because it involves mathematics and computer programming, whatever a computer is. Anywho, let's move on and just say that, like my good friend, yes, he was a good friend, my good friend Captain Jack Sparrow used to say. Well, he didn't say anything because he's a potato. But anywho, I'm going to show you how to play this game, and you must remember that this game is a prototype, what you see in here. So this is not going to be the final version, and it may change a little bit later. And then afterwards, I'm going to give you my impressions of what I think about this game. Is it a piece of 8? Or should it be sailing the 7 seas alone? And I'll leave it up to you to decide which of those you want it to be. So, without further ado, let's look at the technical details of this little beauty. Each pirate player will be given 2 ships that'll be in anchor at the beginning of the game. They'll also have 10 crew member aboard them, represented by these potatoes. This is 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato, and more. No. Each of the small potatoes are the representation of 1 potato, whereas the large is 5. If you lose your crew from a ship, that ship has sunk and it is out of the game. Ha ha! Hee hee, he says. And this is how you win the game. If you're the last player to have any ships left, you win the game. The other way to win the game is if this large deck of cards runs out and you have more Potato King cards than any other player, you win the game as well. Or if you manage to collect or capture all 7 of the Potato Pirate Kings, you win the game instantly as well. Here is the setup for a 3-player game. Each player will be dealt 5 cards to start with. Afterwards, the player that says, "I want to be start player, I want to be start player," is the start player. The start player will then draw 2 cards from the deck and add them to their hand. If you have a Potato King in your hand, you need to immediately place it onto the table. The other players need to say "Potato King" and salute at the same time. The last one to do so will have to give you 2 of their potatoes from any of their ship, and then you can add them to any of your ships as you choose. This Potato King is counted as it's in your hand, but it'll actually just be on the table, which means that anybody can steal it. Again, if you lose all of your ships, the player that sunk your last battleship will take your Potato Kings. Then on your turn, you can do one of 3 actions. Number 1, you can add cards to your attack. You can do a chain of up to 3 cards per ship. Or if you have a ship that's already charged and ready to go, you can modify that by adding cards or taking cards away. Or if your ship is already charged and ready to go, you can send it out into battle to attack the other players. Note that you can only do one of these actions for each ship that you have. Let's do a demonstration of how a round will work. Here's my hand of cards. I draw 2 more cards. On my turn, I now can load up these boats however I wish, and I might decide to place a fry 3 potatoes and a mash 2 potatoes there, and I'm going to put a 3 times and a roast 1 potato there. And that will be the end of my turn. The next turn, I could decide to send any of these out into battle. Obviously, I would draw 2 new cards, add them to my hand, And so, for example, I'm going to send this one out into battle, and I'm going to make them attack another player. I will choose my victim and they will instantly take 5 potatoes worth of damage. They would lose their 5 potatoes like that. And, well, that would be 10 potatoes. So they would lose 5 potatoes like that or like that. Afterwards, I might modify this because I've picked up a pretty good card here, which I can slide under here. So I couldn't send that one out into battle because I have modified it. But that one's been into battle. That would be the end of that turn. Then I would draw 2 more cards and go, oh, Potato King, woo! I'll place it there. But anywho, and then this one has come back into dry dock. And then I can load this one up again. I could load this one up with a while it's less than 5, Y times, and a mash 2. And then this one can go out into battle. Now let me explain what this is. Okay, we have Y times is the number of ships that I have. I have 2 ships, so it's 2 times 3 times 1. So I would have done 6 points of damage to an enemy ship, and they would have lost 6 of their potatoes. Not bad, huh? And this one's pretty much the same. This is while a player's ship has less than 5 potatoes for Y times, again the number of ships. So 5, that'd be 2 times 2, that'd be 4. So that enemy would lose 4 potatoes if their ship had less than 5 potatoes on board. So if I had attacked the same one, I would have sunk it. Let's just demonstrate the power of this wild card here. Right, imagine this is my opponent. So they do have more than 5 potatoes. They have 10 potatoes on their boat. For Y times, which was 2, the number of ships, I can do 2 attacks of 2. So I remove 2, I remove 4 in damage. Okay, but the thing is, this ship still has more than 5 potatoes, which means that I can do this again. So this guy loses another 4, leaving his boat with only 2 spuds. Oh dear. Here's some more examples of damage that I can do to a player. This one here is 2 times 2 of 2 points of damage. So 2 times 2 is 4, so I do 4 times 2 damage to a ship. Nasty, nasty, nasty. This one here is an attack every ship. Okay, so this attacks all players. Now, if you have less than 5 potatoes on your ship, you will take 3 damage. Otherwise, this is what else means, if your ship has more than 5, then you will take 2 points of damage. Again, the if else can be used like this. So it doesn't matter if you have less than 5, you won't be attacked, but everybody who has more than 5 will be attacked 2 times with 3, so they do 6 damage. And as you can see, there is a multitude of different possibilities that you can do with this variety of cards, as long as you don't go over the limit of 3 cards per ship. And if you're running short of ships on your turn, you can also spend 4 of your well-earned potatoes to buy yourself a new ship. But this ship needs a crew, and so you will have to place at least 1 of your potatoes into that ship before you can load it up. Some other cards that you will find in your hand are the loot card, which will let you steal 2 cards from another player. Again, this could be one of the potato kings that they've placed in front of themselves. The switch card will help you out in times of trouble. If you've only got 1 ship, you can get yourself a new ship and 1 additional potato. If you've got 2 ships, you can pick up a card from the discard pile. And if you've got 3 ships, you can draw 3 cards. You also got the hijack, which means that you can steal someone else's ship and steal all the cards loaded on that ship, but you can't steal the potatoes. Those potatoes will have to be relocated to another boat. And then there's the deny card. This will block any attacks that happen to you. So if someone attacks you, you can block them. If someone tries to hijack your boat, you can block them. If someone tries to loot from you, you can block them. And also a block can be blocked with another deny, and you can deny a deny with another deny. And deny, 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 deny. Har! It sounds like a song. Okay, so let's go to my first impressions. Now, my first impressions are of this prototype that I have and not any kind of representation of the actual final product or what you're actually going to get. So bear that in mind, because some of what I might say might be a bit subjective. Okay, let's start with the materials that you get in the game. Well, to start with, the cards are very, very good. Quality, thick plastic, nice kind of normal playing card size with some nice rounded edges and some very nice simplistic art, which helps children pick up what the action is even if they're not reading the card properly, which I find really great. Everything is simple, it's very, very bright and color coded, which is great. The potatoes, which I hope they stay like this, are like fuzzy felt. And as you can see, they kind of like Velcro together. And children and some of the adults were actually just spending quite a bit of time playing with their potatoes, trying to make shapes and spell their name and things like that. So very, very just enjoyable. So I hope that they stay like this to play with. The rule book that I received needs some work. It tells you all the rules, but it doesn't tell you how to play the game. And I had to watch the light video which they produced, the guys at Potato Pilot produced, to understand how an actual turn works properly. So hopefully this will be resolved in the final version. But worst case scenario, the video works really well, and you can watch the videos and learn how to play the game like that. Let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is very, very simplistic, and it is a basic take that game, which is perfect for families and children and light gamers. For hardcore gamers, unless you're into Munchkin and Uno, then this might not be your cup of tea. The game plays pretty quickly because there's player elimination and also a timing mechanism, which is the actual deck itself. So the games will never drag on too long, which is great, which keeps children occupied and gives them back that, you know, they want to play it again, they want to play it again. Now, as I said, with the player elimination, some children do get a bit upset, and again, sometimes there are groups that will pick on a particular person because they have like the really powerful boat, and again, children might get a bit upset. So there may be a tear or two while you're playing this game. But there is lots of laughter as well. There's laughter in the fact that, you know, when you play a deny card, we had a game where one player had these two really powerful boats with the if and else loaded up and ready to wipe out everybody. So it was a case of, okay, well, we need to take those boats out, everybody. And so everybody was like attacking, but that player had a deny card, and it was like, rats. And then the next player would go again, and they would attack, and it was rats again. They had another denied card, and it was just so funny. And then there was a deny of a deny of a deny, and it was like, how did they get all those deny cards in their hand? It was incredible, but it created a laugh out loud moment. Now let's get to the educational part of the game. It's the math which is involved in this game. Now when I looked on Board Game Geek, I saw that the age rating for this game was 6 years and up, which I think is cutting it a bit fine. I would have said it was more 8 years and up, due to the fact that some of the text on the cards, you know, children are not at that age are not really prone to reading. I mean, the action cards are quite simple, and you can just look at it and go, well, that's an action card which attacks 3. You don't need to read it, which is a great thing about the actual art and the coloring. Whereas with the mathematics and using a if-else card or a when card and how it actually works can be a little bit complicated for very young children, and sometimes some adults as well. But they work really well. So the game teaches you addition, in regards to adding up all the action cards, and then there's the multiplication of the control cards. There's the loops that the control cards have, like the while this boat has more than 4 potatoes, you can kill 3 of those potatoes. And then obviously there's the if and the else, which is the kind of the programmation that I used to do on my basic ZX Spectrum and on my Commodore 64, you know, 10, print Barry, 20, A equals A plus 1, 30, if A equals 20, go to 50, 40, go to 10. And it was just like a simple kind of program, whee, and that works, and it works. But do children really see that mathematics in the game? In short, no. I think they see the fun in the game more than the mathematics, and they enjoy it on that level alone. So there you have it. That's Potato Pirates, a light take that game with some luck and some laughter, and some math as well, and some algebra. Yes, there's algebra included as well. So I hope you found this video informative and it's pointing you in the direction whether this is a Kickstarter for you and your family or your school group. And then you can go and pledge your support. There should be a link in the show notes below. There's also a link at the end of this video with the credits, which will take you to the Kickstarter so you can see how it's going and what kind of stretch goals they have on offer and what changes and plans they got for the future as well. So all that remains for me to say is thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to share it with your friends, go ahead and share it. And if you want to help support this show, you can always go to my Patreon and donate a bit of money there. And in return, you may get yourself a promo or a soundtrack. Ooh. So thanks very much for watching. I'll say ciao for now. And remember, you don't need to buy every single board game out there. You just need to own a few good ones. And remember to play nice with each other as well. No potato fights. No, 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 no! Oh, I've got to clean all this up now, haven't I?
Just sitting